A church in Atlanta. A forced wedding. 200 guests waiting to watch. Talia Turner stands at the altar in a borrowed dress. Beside her, a man in torn jeans, unwashed, unshaven. A beggar her stepmother dragged off the street this morning. Lorraine Turner steps forward. The woman who married Talia's father for his money. Now she's spending it on revenge. Look at them. Lorraine gestures to the crowd. A black girl with dark skin who can't afford rent, finally marrying someone at her level. Laughter, white faces, designer dresses, phones recording. Trash marrying trash. Lorraine smiles. Your father married beneath himself with your dark-skinned mother. History repeats. 200 people. Not one objects. A young black woman. Handed to a beggar. Public entertainment. But here's what no one in this church can imagine. In 7 days, every person laughing will wish they could disappear. And the woman in control right now? She'll be the one begging. 6 a.m. Grady Memorial Hospital, Atlanta, Georgia. The fluorescent lights hum their endless song. Hand sanitizer burns the cracks in Talia Turner's knuckles. 12 hours on her feet in the ICU, and she doesn't feel tired anymore. She's past tired. She's hollow. She catches her reflection in the dark window as her shift ends. Her mother's brown skin, her father's strong jaw. Vernon Turner raised his black daughter to work twice as hard and expect half the credit. 24 years old, and she's done both her whole life. The hospital corridor stretches empty behind her. Her sneakers squeak against linoleum. Somewhere down the hall, a monitor beeps steadily. Life going on. Death held at bay. Another night survived. Double shifts aren't about money. Not really. They're about avoiding home. Home used to mean something different. When her father was alive, home smelled like his cologne and Sunday morning pancakes. The sound of his laughter filling the kitchen. His voice reading the newspaper out loud, commenting on everything, making her giggle even when she was too old for giggling. Now home smells like Lorraine's perfume and silence. Cold marble floors, doors that close too quietly. Vernon Turner died 18 months ago. Heart attack, they said. Sudden. No warning. No goodbye. She still reaches for her phone to call him sometimes. Still expects to hear his voice answer on the second ring the way he always did. Hey, baby girl. What's going on? Nothing's going on, Daddy. Everything's wrong. The watch on her wrist is all she has left of him. Seiko. Worn leather band. Face scratched from years of wear. She never takes it off. Not to shower, not to sleep, not ever. 3 days before he died, Vernon pressed it into her palm. She remembers the weight of it, the warmth from his skin still in the metal. His last words to her, keep the watch close, baby girl, and remember, they'll underestimate you. Let them, then show them who you are. She didn't understand then. She's starting to understand now. The watch feels heavier lately. She tells herself it's grief playing tricks. Imagination, exhaustion. She doesn't know yet that it's none of those things. Home. She has to go home eventually. Lorraine's house now. Vernon's house on paper, but Lorraine's kingdom in practice. Her stepmother has rules, so many rules. Rule 1. Lorraine monitors Talia's bank account. For your own good, sweetheart. You're young. You don't understand money yet. Talia is 24. She manages medication dosages that could kill someone with a decimal point error. Rule 2. Lorraine threw away Talia's mother's photos. Every single one. Clutter, sweetie. You understand. We need to move forward. Talia's mother died when she was 6. Those photos were all she had. Rule 3. Lorraine tells everyone at Greater Hope Baptist that Talia is troubled and ungrateful. The whispers follow Talia like shadows. Poor Lorraine, they say. Taking care of that difficult girl. Such a saint. Rule 4. Lorraine said it once, face calm as winter ice, voice soft as snow falling. Your father only married me to give you a mother figure. I never wanted you. You were part of the package. 18 months of small cruelties, paper cuts that never heal, each one small enough to dismiss. Together they bleed her dry. But Talia has a plan. Her savings account shows $48,000. Almost enough to escape. First month's rent, last month's rent, security deposit, start over money. Just a few more months of double shifts, a few more months of silence. Then freedom. Vernon told her once, "Trust no one in this city, baby girl, especially people who smile too much." Lorraine smiles constantly, at church, at charity events, at the neighbors, that perfect, practiced smile that never reaches her eyes. She never smiles at Talia. The sun is rising as Talia pulls into the driveway. 6:47 a.m. The house is dark except for one light in the kitchen. Lorraine's up early. That's unusual. Lorraine sleeps until 9, minimum. Beauty rest, she calls it. That's never good. Talia sits in the car for a moment, touches her father's watch. The worn leather, the scratched face, the steady tick against her pulse. Keep the watch close. She doesn't know it yet, can't possibly know. But in 7 days, everything will change. The woman in handcuffs, the jet on the tarmac, the congregation that laughed, suddenly silent with shame. 7 days. It starts today. She opens the car door and walks toward the house. Saturday morning, Greater Hope Baptist Church. The annual charity brunch fills the fellowship hall with perfume, pretense, and the particular kind of cruelty that hides behind Sunday smiles. Ceiling fans turn slow overhead, stirring air thick with cologne and competition. Someone's phone buzzes endlessly in a designer purse. No one answers it. Appearances matter more than convenience. Lorraine Turner sits in the front pew. Cream-colored dress, pearl earrings that cost more than Talia makes in a month. Perfect posture, perfect hair, perfect mask. When Pastor Ronald Hayes announces the donations, Lorraine's name comes first. $25,000 from our beloved sister Lorraine Turner. God bless her generous heart. The congregation applauds. Lorraine bows her head in practiced humility. Talia watches from 3 rows back. She does the math in her head. 25,000. Her stepmother claims they need to be careful with money. Claims that's why Talia pays rent to live in her dead father's house. Where does a widow get $25,000 for a single donation? She doesn't ask. She learned long ago not to ask. After brunch, the fellowship hall empties slowly. Women air-kissing, men shaking hands, the elaborate theater of Southern society. Lorraine finds Talia in the corner near the back door. Her grip on Talia's arm is tight enough to bruise. Her smile, for anyone watching, is perfect. Walk with me. They step into an empty hallway. Sunday school rooms on either side, dark and silent. The door closes behind them. Lorraine releases her arm. The smile disappears. "There's a man," she says. Her voice is flat, businesslike. "Homeless. Found wandering near the church. Pastor Hayes took pity on him." "Okay. You'll marry him." The words hit Talia like ice water. They don't register. They can't. "What?" "Today. This afternoon. Pastor Hayes is preparing the ceremony now." "You can't be serious. I can't just—" "You can." Lorraine's smile returns. Thin. Sharp. "You will. Your father left me in charge of this household. You live under my roof. You eat my food. You follow my rules." Talia's heart pounds against her ribs. "Why? Why would you do this to me?" Something flickers in Lorraine's eyes. For half a second, maybe less, it looks like fear. Real fear. Real. Her voice drops. Her manicured nails dig into Talia's arm again. There are people watching, Talia. Dangerous people. They want something your father had. If I give them a show, prove I'm not a threat, prove this family is broken and pathetic, maybe they'll leave us alone. Who? What people? What did Daddy? Don't. The word is a slap. Ask questions. The fear vanishes from Lorraine's face. Something colder replaces it. Something that looks almost like pleasure. Besides, she tilts her head, studying Talia like a specimen under glass. You've always thought you were better than everyone, haven't you? Harvard applications, nursing school valedictorian. That little superior look you give me when you think I'm not watching. Her smile widens, shows teeth. Let's see how special you feel married to a beggar in front of everyone. There it is, the truth beneath the fear. Lorraine Turner is scared of someone, yes. But she's also enjoying this. The cruelty isn't an act. It never was. Some people can be victims and villains at the same time. Movement at the end of the hallway. A man in a dark suit. Expensive. Tailored. He stands by the exit door, watching. He nods once at Lorraine. Then he's gone. 3 hours, Lorraine says, smoothing her dress. Get yourself presentable. I'll handle everything else. She walks back toward the fellowship hall. Her heels click against the linoleum like a countdown. 3 hours. Talia stands alone in the empty hallway. Sunday school posters on the walls. Jesus loves you. God has a plan. What plan is this? Her father's voice echoes in her memory. They'll underestimate you. Let them. But what can she do? What can anyone do in 3 hours? She touches the watch on her wrist, the steady tick against her pulse. Keep it close. Always. She doesn't know what's hidden inside, doesn't know about the SD card, the recordings, the evidence that could bring down an empire. Not yet. For now, she knows only this. In 3 hours, she'll stand at an altar. She'll marry a stranger. The congregation will laugh and laugh and laugh. And somewhere in the back of the church, men in dark suits will be watching. The ceremony begins at 2 o'clock. Saturday afternoon. 2 o'clock. Greater Hope Baptist Church. Word spreads fast in Atlanta. Faster than gospel. Faster than gossip. The pews fill with curious faces, whispered speculation, phones held just below eye level. Recording. Always recording. Lorraine invited everyone she could reach in 3 hours. This isn't a wedding. It's a spectacle. A public execution of reputation dressed in white. The organ plays something slow and slightly off-key. Mrs. Patterson has been the church organist for 40 years, and her arthritis shows in every chord. Somewhere in the back, a camera shutter clicks. Then another. Then a dozen. Talia stands at the entrance of the sanctuary in a borrowed white dress. It doesn't fit right. Too tight at the shoulders, too loose at the waist, hemmed for someone 3 inches shorter. Lorraine pulled it from her own closet this morning. It smells like her stepmother's perfume. Like a cage made of fabric. But the watch is on Talia's wrist. Her father's watch. Her armor. She holds her head high, shoulders back, chin up. If they're going to watch her fall, they'll watch her fall standing straight. The congregation turns as one. Hundreds of eyes. The whispers rise like steam. And then she sees him. The groom stands at the altar. Torn jeans with holes at both knees. Faded gray t-shirt that might have been black once. Beard that hasn't seen a razor in weeks. Hair that hasn't seen shampoo in longer. He looks exactly like what Lorraine promised. A homeless man. A beggar. A punishment made flesh. The reactions ripple through the pews like stones dropped in water. Mrs. Dorothy Williams in the third pew, hand pressed over her mouth, eyes wide as dinner plates, other hand already typing furiously on her phone. Her granddaughter will have this on Instagram before the vows are finished. Deacon James Foster snickers openly, doesn't bother hiding it, leans to whisper something to his wife that makes her cover her smile with a church fan. Teenage girls in the back row, phones held high, recording everything, giggling behind their hands. TikTok content, viral humiliation, clout. Even Pastor Ronald Hayes looks uncomfortable as he opens his Bible, eyes darting between the bride and groom like he's waiting for someone to explain the joke. Lorraine sits in the front row. Her face is composed, serene, satisfied. This is exactly what she wanted. Talia walks down the aisle, one foot in front of the other. The white carpet stretches forever. Each step brings her closer to the altar, closer to the man in torn jeans, closer to the moment that should destroy her. But something catches her attention as she approaches. The man's fingernails. She notices them first. They're clean, perfectly clean. Not a speck of dirt beneath them. Strange for a homeless man. His posture. She notices that next. Straight. Confident. Not hunched or defeated or broken. He stands like someone who knows exactly who he is. His eyes. She notices those last. Sharp, intelligent, kind. They meet hers as she reaches the altar, and there's no mockery in them. No cruelty. No joke. Something doesn't fit. The ceremony proceeds. Pastor Hayes reads from his Bible, voice uncertain. The vows are short, perfunctory. Do you, Talia Turner, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? The church holds its breath. Someone in the back giggles. She forces the words out. I do. And do you... Pastor Hayes glances at a note card. Elliot, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? The man speaks. His voice is quiet, calm, articulate. No stumbling, no mumbling, no slurring. Just two simple words, spoken with perfect clarity. I do. He doesn't sound homeless. He sounds educated. He sounds like someone who reads books and thinks about what they mean. The congregation doesn't notice. They're too busy laughing. Someone in the back starts it, a single bark of laughter. Then another. Then half the church is exhaling cruel amusement, and the sound fills the sanctuary like poison. Lorraine, in the front row, smiles. This is the moment she planned. Her stepdaughter, humiliated before God and everyone. The congregation, entertained at Talia's expense. The men in dark suits, satisfied that the Turner family is no threat. Mission accomplished. After the ceremony, rain starts falling. Hard and sudden, the way summer storms do in Georgia. Everyone rushes inside to eat cake, to gossip, to share their videos, to laugh about what they just witnessed. Talia stands alone under the church awning, rain hammering the parking lot 3 feet away. The smell of wet asphalt and something sweeter underneath. Footsteps behind her. The man, Elliot, appears at her side. Without a word, he removes his faded jacket, places it over her shoulders. The fabric is thin and worn, but warm from his body. You'll catch cold. She looks at him, really looks for the first time. Why are you doing this? What do you get out of it? Right now? He watches the rain. His voice is quiet. I get to stand next to someone who walked in there with her head up when everyone wanted her to crawl. That's rare. That's worth something. Around his neck, a thin gold chain she didn't notice before. A small pendant. The letter E. E for Elliot? A pause. Something flickers in his eyes. Memory. Pain. Love. For someone who taught me what matters. So. He doesn't explain. She doesn't push. That night, after Lorraine banishes him to the garden shed out back, Talia can't sleep. She lies in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment. She finds him on the back porch at midnight, sitting on the steps, watching the rain taper off. They talk, for hours, until the sky begins to lighten. He asks about her work, intelligent questions about patient care, medication protocols, things a homeless man shouldn't know. He asks about her father. He sounds like he was a good man. He asks about her dreams. No one has asked about her dreams in 18 months. Your father sounds like he was a good man, Talia. The best. He was the best. I can tell. His voice is soft, sincere. Because he raised you. She goes to bed as dawn breaks, head full of questions she can't answer. The clothes say homeless, the hands say educated, the eyes say something else entirely. Who is Elliot? The congregation recorded their laughter that Saturday, shared it everywhere, tagged their friends. They don't know that in 7 days, they'll be deleting those videos. One by one. In shame. Sunday night, day 1. Talia can't sleep. The questions won't stop circling. She goes downstairs for water. The kitchen light is on. Lorraine sits at the table, a glass of whiskey sweating in her hand, ice rattling against crystal with every tremor. No makeup, no perfect posture, no mask. Just a woman who looks 10 years older than she did this morning. Talia stops in the doorway. She's never seen Lorraine like this. What's going on? Really? Who are those people watching us? Lorraine doesn't look up, just stares at her whiskey like it holds answers. Long silence. The ice rattles. Then, your father didn't die of a heart attack, Talia. The world stops spinning. The clock on the wall ticks. The refrigerator hums. Everything continues. But nothing is the same. What did you just say? Lorraine finally looks up. Her eyes are red-rimmed, empty. He found something. Evidence. About powerful people in this city. 5 families who control everything. The money, the politics, the police. Everything. She drains the whiskey, pours another with shaking hands. They told him to forget what he'd seen, to walk away, to keep his mouth shut and live a comfortable life. But he didn't. He didn't. A sound that might be a laugh, might be a sob. Your father was always stubborn, always righteous, always so sure he could fix things. They killed him. Talia's voice doesn't sound like her own. You're telling me they killed him? Made it look natural. Heart attack. Who questions a heart attack? He was 56, stressed, worked too hard. Lorraine's mouth twists. Perfect cover. 18 months. Talia has lived 18 months believing her father died of natural causes, grieving a tragedy, not a murder. You knew? Her voice breaks, shatters. You knew he was murdered and you didn't go to the police? You didn't tell me? You didn't... The police? Lorraine laughs. It's an ugly sound. They own the police, Talia. They own the judges. They own the prosecutors. They own this entire city. Who was I supposed to tell? Someone. Anyone. You could have... I could have died. Lorraine's voice goes flat. I could have ended up just like Vernon. Heart attack, natural causes, another tragic loss. She meets Talia's eyes. So I survived. That's what I did. That's all I did. Silence. The refrigerator hums. You survived by stealing from me, by lying to me, by making my life hell for 18 months. Something shifts in Lorraine's face. The fear retreats. Something uglier takes its place. Your father spent more time on his mission than he ever spent on me. More time in his study with his files and his secrets. More time with you than with his own wife. Don't. Maybe if he'd focused on his family instead of playing hero. Don't you dare blame him for his own murder. Lorraine shrugs. The gesture is almost casual, almost cruel. I'm not blaming, I'm explaining. He made choices. So did I. She looks at Talia's wrist, at the watch. He always told you to keep that thing close. I think that's where he hid it. Whatever it is. Whatever evidence he had. Her eyes narrow. That's why they're still looking. That's why they sent men to watch us. Talia's hand covers the watch. Protective. Instinctive. The door opens. Elliot stands in the doorway. He heard everything. His face is unreadable, but his eyes are alert. He crosses the room without speaking. Stands near Talia. Close enough to touch. Not touching. Just present. Just there. I'm sorry. About your father. Did you know? I suspected something was wrong. That's why I came to Atlanta. That's why I agreed to this arrangement. Why? Why would you care about my father? His jaw tightens. Because the people who killed him are the same people I've been running from my whole life. What does that mean? It means I want to help, if you'll let me. She looks at him. This stranger in torn jeans. This beggar she married yesterday. Why should I trust you? You shouldn't. Not yet. His eyes don't waver. But I'm going to earn it. Monday morning, day 2. The doorbell rings at 9 a.m. 3 sharp sounds that echo through the silent house. Dorothy Holloway stands on the front porch. Vernon's aunt, 68 years old, reading glasses hanging from a chain around her neck. Sensible shoes that have walked 1,000 courtrooms. A leather briefcase older than Talia. She smells like peppermint and purpose. Lorraine appears behind Talia in the foyer. Her face drains of color. What are you doing here? Dot's voice is calm, measured, iron wrapped in velvet. Vernon asked me to come, if anything ever happened to him. Vernon is dead. That's why I'm here. Dot is a retired probate attorney. 40 years practicing law in Atlanta. She's cross-examined senators, deposed CEOs, and made defense attorneys cry. She doesn't miss anything. She walks into the house without waiting for an invitation. I need to speak with my grandniece. Privately. Lorraine opens her mouth to protest. Dot's gaze stops her cold. Privately, Lorraine. Private conversation in Vernon's old study. The room still smells like him. Leather chairs, old books, the ghost of his cologne. Talia hasn't been in here since he died. Lorraine keeps it locked. Dot sits behind Vernon's desk like she belongs there. Opens her briefcase. Files, documents, bank records. Your father called them the consortium. 5 families who control Atlanta. Old money built on new corruption. They've been operating for over 20 years. The people who killed him. Yes. Dot spreads papers across the desk. Atlantic Charitable Trust, registered in 2006. On paper, it's a foundation supporting local education initiatives. Very respectable, very generous. And in reality, a washing machine for dirty money. $340 million laundered over 8 years. Money flows in as donations. Clean, tax-deductible, legitimate. Flows out to offshore accounts in the Caymans, Switzerland, Singapore. Comes back as consulting fees paid to shell companies owned by 5 families. The names appear on documents Dot spreads across the desk. Grant, Whitfield, Beaumont, Sinclair, and one more. Dot pauses. Her fingers rest on the 5th name. Her voice tightens almost imperceptibly. Holloway. Your family? My brother, Edward Holloway. He helped found the consortium 23 years ago. She meets Talia's eyes. I found out 5 years ago. Cut all contact. Haven't spoken to him since. But your blood is part of this. Yes, my blood is part of this. Even her ally is compromised. Trust is a luxury Talia cannot afford, but Dot isn't finished. There's something else. About Lorraine. From the briefcase, more documents. Bank statements, transfer records, dates highlighted in yellow. Your father set up a trust for you, $250,000, to be released upon his death. He filed it with the county 3 years ago when he first started gathering evidence against the consortium. Insurance, he called it, in case something happened to him. I never knew about any trust. You weren't supposed to know until you needed it, but you should have received it 18 months ago. I didn't receive anything. Dot slides a paper across the desk. Bank statements, transfer records, withdrawals. $200,000 withdrawn over 18 months. Small amounts each time. $5,000 here, $8,000 there, just under the reporting threshold. Easy to miss if you're not looking. Who signed for the withdrawals? Dot points to a signature line, highlighted in yellow. Lorraine Turner. She stole from me. Talia's voice is flat, numb. While I worked double shifts, while I saved $48,000, she was stealing my inheritance. Every single month. There's more. Vernon's will, the real one, filed with Fulton County 3 years ago. The house, this house, Vernon's house, was left to Talia. Not to Lorraine, not for the family. To Talia alone. The version Lorraine filed after Vernon's death is different. Same legal language, same format, different beneficiary. She forged his signature. Dot's voice is quiet, damning. Filed a fraudulent will, stole your inheritance, kept the house that was supposed to be yours. For 18 months. For 18 months. Rage builds in Talia's chest, hot and focused, not explosive, controlled. Your stepmother didn't just know about the murder. Dot closes the briefcase. She profited from it, systematically, deliberately. The door opens. Elliot. He's been listening in the hallway. Dot studies him. Long silence stretches. Her attorney's eyes miss nothing. Grant, you're James Grant's son. The room freezes. Talia's breath catches. James Grant, Dot continues, chairman of Grant Capital, head of the consortium, the man who gave the order on Vernon Turner. Elliot doesn't deny it, doesn't flinch. Yes, I'm his son. Talia backs away. Her hip hits the corner of Vernon's desk. You're one of them. My father is. Elliot's voice stays steady. I'm not. How am I supposed to believe that? Your father killed my father. Your family is the reason. I know what my family is. His jaw tightens. That's why I left. 2 years ago. No money, no credit cards, no family name. Just me and a backpack and a bus ticket to nowhere. Why? Pain crosses his face. Old pain. Familiar pain. My mother, Eleanor. She died 6 years ago. Cancer. Slow and terrible. But she was clear-eyed until the end. His hand touches the pendant at his neck. The letter E. She hated what my father became. Couldn't stop him. He was too powerful, too connected. But she told me the truth. About the consortium. About what they do. About who they destroy. So you ran. I ran. Far and fast. Lived in shelters. Ate at soup kitchens. Found out who I was without the money, without the name, without any of it. Dot cuts in. I had him investigated before I came to Atlanta. 2 years completely off the grid. No contact with his father. No access to family accounts. He's been living as a homeless man by choice. Talia processes. The son of her father's killer, standing in her father's study, offering help. Blood doesn't make family. Elliot's voice is quiet. Certain. Choices do. I made my choice 2 years ago. I'm making it again now. The trust is fragile, cracked, but not broken. Dot pulls one more item from her briefcase. A business card worn at the edges. Agent Raymond Cole, FBI Financial Crimes Division, Atlanta Field Office. Your father was working with the FBI, 3 years as a confidential informant, gathering evidence, building a case. He was killed before he could finish, before he could hand over the final evidence. Dot nods. That's why the consortium is still looking. That's why they sent men to watch Lorraine. They believe someone knows where the evidence is hidden. Talia's hand drifts to the watch on her wrist, the weight of it, the steadiness of its tick. Keep it close, always. She says nothing. Not yet. But she's starting to understand. If you've been watching this long, you already know something's coming. The evidence is close. The truth is closer. Stay with me. The watch opens soon. Tuesday ends. Day 3 begins. More documents, more patterns, more proof. The picture becomes clearer with every hour. Wire transfers, shell companies, political donations that circle back as government contracts. 5 families, 12 billion in combined assets, 20 years of corruption, and Vernon Turner was about to bring it all down. His daughter is going to finish what he started. Wednesday morning, day 4. Talia comes home from the hospital at 7 a.m. 12 hours in the ICU, exhausted, running on coffee and adrenaline. Something's wrong. Her bedroom door is open. She always closes it. Always. It's the one space in this house that's hers alone. Inside, drawers pulled open, contents shifted. Closet light on. Clothes moved, examined, replaced in slightly wrong positions. Nothing stolen. But everything touched. Everything searched. They were looking for something. They didn't find it. Her hand goes to her wrist. The watch is still there. She never takes it off. Not even to shower. Not even to sleep. Downstairs, kitchen. She calls Dot's phone. Ring, ring, ring. Voicemail. Calls again. Same result. Texts. No response. Something cold settles in Talia's stomach. She drives to Dot's hotel. The Westin Peachtree Plaza. Dot always stays at the Westin when she's in Atlanta. Room 1204. Front desk. Young woman with a practiced smile. I'm looking for Dorothy Holloway. Room 1204. The clerk types, frowns. Ms. Holloway checked out this morning. That's not possible. I spoke to her last night. She wouldn't. I'm sorry, ma'am. Our records show she checked out at 6:15 a.m. Dot didn't check out. Dot was taken. Back at the house. Vernon's study. Pacing. Mind racing. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers. The voice on the other end is distorted. Mechanical. Inhuman. We have Dorothy. Talia's blood turns to ice. Bring the watch. Whitfield Warehouse. Midnight. Come alone. Pause. The distortion makes the words sound like they're coming from inside a machine. Or she dies. The line goes dead. Silence. The clock on Vernon's desk ticks. The world continues as if nothing has changed. But everything has changed. The watch. They want the watch. They don't know what's on it any more than she does. But they know Vernon hid something dangerous. Something worth killing for. Elliot finds her 20 minutes later, sees her face, knows immediately. What happened? She tells him. Every word. His jaw tightens, muscles in his neck cord. Did you tell anyone about the watch? Anyone besides Dot? No. Then they're guessing. They know Vernon hid something, but they don't know where. They're fishing. They have Dot. They'll kill her if I don't. They'll kill her anyway if we walk in blind. He's right. She knows he's right. How do I know you didn't tell them? The words come out sharper than she intends. How do I know this isn't some elaborate trap? Your father's people take Dot, you lead me right to them. Elliot meets her eyes. Doesn't flinch. Because if I wanted the watch, I would have taken it 3 nights ago. You sleep, Talia, I don't. I've sat on that porch every night watching the house. If I was working with my father, you'd already be dead. He's right about that, too. I swear on my mother's grave. His voice cracks on the word mother. First real emotion she's seen break through his careful control. I didn't tell them anything. Silence. The clock ticks. Then help me. Help me get Dot back. We will. But we need to know what's on that watch first. We need to know what we're carrying into that warehouse. She looks at her wrist. Her father's last gift. The weight she's carried for 18 months. Keep it close. Always. Okay. Her voice steadies. Let's open it. Through his attorney, James Grant would later claim the consortium was a legitimate charitable network and that accusations of criminal activity were politically motivated attacks. The wire transfers tell a different story. The ransom call tells the real one. Wednesday night, day 4. Vernon's study. Thunder shakes the windows. Lightning turns the room white, then dark, then white again. The smell of ozone and old books, and the fading ghost of Vernon's cologne. Rain hammers against glass like fists demanding entry. Talia sits at her father's desk, the watch in her hands. She's worn it every day for 18 months, showered with it, slept with it, worked 12-hour shifts with it pressed against her pulse. She never thought to open it. She turns it over, examines the back. 4 tiny screws she never noticed before. Phillips heads, almost invisible unless you're looking. Vernon's toolkit is still in the desk drawer, right where he left it. She finds the smallest screwdriver. Her hands are trembling. She removes the first screw, second, third, fourth. The case back opens. Inside, pressed into the felt lining like a secret kept for 18 months, is a micro SD card. Samsung Piero Endurance Pro. 64 gigabytes, smaller than her thumbnail. The watch was heavier. It wasn't grief. It wasn't imagination. It was carrying everything. She finds Vernon's old laptop in the desk drawer. Hasn't been opened since his death. The battery is dead, but the charger still works. Boot up. Password. Vernon's birthday. He was never creative with passwords. Card inserted. 1 folder, 1 file. Audio. File name. For Talia. She clicks play. Her father's voice fills the room. Talia. She gasps. 18 months. She hasn't heard his voice in 18 months. The tears come immediately. The tears she's held through the funeral, through Lorraine's cruelty, through every double shift that kept her too exhausted to feel. If you're hearing this, baby girl, I'm dead. The words hit like physical blows. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I tried to protect you by keeping you out of this. I thought if you didn't know, they wouldn't come for you. I was wrong. I was stupid. I was afraid. His voice is steady, calm. The way he always was, even when everything was falling apart. This card contains everything. Bank records, wire transfers, video from their meetings, names, dates, amounts, everything I gathered for 3 years. Enough to destroy the consortium completely. I was working with the FBI, Agent Raymond Cole. He's a good man, an honest man. Find him, give him this card. Then run, Talia. Get as far away from Atlanta as you can. Long pause. When he speaks again, his voice breaks, just slightly. Just enough. I love you. I loved you every single day of your life. From the moment you were born, you were my purpose, my reason, my everything. Talia is sobbing now. Can't breathe, can't think. They'll underestimate you. They always have. Let them, then show them who you are. Another pause. Stronger now. Vernon Turner's voice, steady and sure. The watch kept ticking for you, baby girl. Keep going. Finish what I started. The recording ends. Silence. Thunder. Rain. The door opens. Elliot stands in the doorway. He doesn't speak, doesn't ask, just crosses the room, sits beside her in the dark. She leans into him. His arms close around her. She can hear his heartbeat. Steady, 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 against her ear. I miss him so much. The words come out broken, shattered. I know. He was alone, at the end. He was alone and afraid, and he couldn't even tell me he was protecting you. The only way he knew how. It wasn't enough. No. Elliot's voice is soft, honest. It wasn't. But he tried. He did everything he could. They sit like that for a long time, the storm raging outside, his heartbeat steady, her tears slowly drying. Thank you for being here. There's nowhere else I'd be. Her father's voice is gone, but his mission remains. And for the first time in 18 months, she's not carrying it alone. If you're still here, you already know what's coming. The evidence is found. The fight begins at dawn. But first, one more secret. One more revelation. The beggar has a story he hasn't told you yet. Stay with me. Thursday morning. Day 5. Talia calls the number on Agent Raymond Cole's business card at 7 a.m. He answers on the first ring, like he's been waiting by the phone for 18 months. Ms. Turner? His voice is cautious, hopeful. I've been hoping for this call since your father died. FBI field office, downtown Atlanta. Secure conference room on the 14th floor. Agent Raymond Cole is 52 years old, gray at the temples, tired lines around his eyes that speak of too many late nights chasing ghosts. He's been hunting the consortium for 6 years. Your father was the bravest man I ever worked with. He spreads files across the conference table. 3 years of investigation, dozens of agents, dead ends everywhere. He got closer than anyone, built relationships, gathered evidence, put himself in danger every single day. And then they killed him. Made it look natural. We couldn't prove otherwise. Without Vernon's testimony, without his evidence, the case collapsed. Until now. Talia places the SD card on the table. 64 gigabytes. Smaller than a postage stamp. Heavier than an empire. Cole's team reviews it. 5 minutes. 10. 15. The room is silent except for clicking keyboards and occasional sharp intakes of breath. When Cole looks up, his eyes are bright. Almost wet. This is everything. Names, dates, amounts, video of their meetings, recorded conversations, wire transfer records we could never subpoena. Enough to arrest them? Enough to destroy them. But we need to catch them together. This Saturday, there's a consortium meeting, annual gathering, all 5 families in one room. If we raid while they're present, where's the meeting? We don't know. They rotate locations. Only members know the address until the day of. A voice from the doorway. I know where. Elliot. He followed them from the house. Cole's hand moves toward his sidearm. Instinct. Stand down, Agent. I'm here to help. You're James Grant's son. Yes. Elliot walks into the room, stops beside Talia. And I know where Saturday's meeting is. Whitfield Warehouse, Industrial District. Same location where they're holding Dorothy Holloway. Why would you help us? Why would you betray your own father? Silence. Elliot's jaw tightens. Because my father is a murderer. Because he ordered the death of Vernon Turner. Because he's spent his entire life destroying people who got in his way. He looks at Talia. His eyes are steady. And because I love his daughter. And I won't let them hurt her. The words hang in the air. Talia's breath catches. Cole studies him. Weighing. Assessing. You understand what you're giving up? Testifying against your father means losing everything. The money. The name. The legacy. Elliot's answer is immediate. Certain. I understand what I'm gaining. Talia stands, crosses to him, takes his hand. First time she reaches for him, first time she chooses him. Together? Together. The plan takes shape over the next 4 hours. FBI raid. Friday night. Every consortium member in one room. Elliot will guide them to the location. Dot will be rescued. Justice will be served. The son betraying the father. For love. For justice. For a woman he met 7 days ago. Some people wait their whole lives for someone to choose them. Talia waited 7 days. Thursday night. Day 5. FBI conference room. The evidence package is complete. Every receipt, every transfer, every recorded conversation. Organized, documented, ready for prosecution. But the crown jewel is Vernon's hidden camera footage. The video plays on the conference room screen. High resolution. Clear audio. Damning. A long conference table. Expensive wood. Crystal glasses. 5 men in suits that cost more than most people's cars. James Grant at the head. Silver hair. Cold eyes. The voice of a man who's never been told no. Vernon Turner had to be handled. He knew too much. He had too much documentation. Senator Richard Whitfield nods. The Foundation can absorb additional scrutiny. We've weathered investigations before. Catherine Beaumont, smooth and reptilian. As long as there are no witnesses, no loose ends. Theodore Sinclair, oldest of the group. There won't be. Mr. Grant has assured us the situation is contained. James Grant smiles. The smile of a predator. Vernon Turner died of a heart attack. Natural causes. No investigation. No questions. The evidence he gathered died with him. Smoking gun. Admission of conspiracy. Implied confession to murder. On video. Agent Cole pauses the recording. This is more than enough. We can take them all down. But something on the screen catches Talia's eye. The list of participants. The 5th name. Holloway. Edward Holloway. Dot's brother. If this goes public, Dot's entire family is destroyed. Her nieces. Her nephews. Her brother's children. The Holloway name in Atlanta. Ruined for generations. Can we... Talia hesitates. Can we exclude one family? The Holloways? For Dot's sake? Cole shakes his head. All or nothing. The case falls apart if we start picking favorites. Either everyone goes down, or no one does. She thinks of Dot. Kidnapped. Beaten. Still fighting. She thinks of Vernon. Murdered. Silenced. Still speaking through that SD card. All of them. Every single one. Later. The hallway outside the conference room. City lights of Atlanta spreading below the window like scattered diamonds. Talia finds Elliot alone, staring at the lights, lost in thought. Your mother. She stands beside him, their shoulders almost touching. You mentioned her earlier. The pendant you wear. What happened to her? He doesn't answer right away. The silence stretches. She died 6 years ago. Cancer, slow and painful. Slow, but she was clear-eyed until the end. Clearer than she'd ever been. I'm sorry. She hated what my father became, hated the consortium, hated the lies and the corruption and the bodies buried under all that money. His hand touches the pendant. The letter E. She couldn't stop him. He was too powerful by then. But she prepared. Prepared how? He turns to face her. His eyes are serious, vulnerable. When my father is arrested, or when I turn 28, whichever comes first, I inherit her trust, completely separate from Grant Capital. Money she saved, investments she made, accounts my father can't touch. How much? $80 million. Talia stares. Including a Gulfstream G650. $50 million. Tail number N550EG. A ghost of a smile crosses his face. Her initials. Eleanor Grant. She bought it 3 months before she died. Left it to me specifically. The beggar. The homeless man. The stranger in torn jeans who slept in a garden shed. He has a $50 million jet. Why? Her voice is barely a whisper. Why didn't you tell me? Because I needed you to see me first. Not the money, not the jet, not the family name or the inheritance or any of it. Just me. And if I'd never found out, then I'd have known your love was real. Silence. The city lights sparkle below. Elliot. She takes his hand, intertwines her fingers with his. I saw you the moment you put your jacket over my shoulders in the rain. Before I knew anything, I saw you. His smile is real this time. The first real smile she's ever seen from him. Then let's finish this, and fly somewhere they've never heard of the consortium. Friday night, day 6, Whitfield warehouse. Rain falls in sheets, the smell of rust and motor oil and wet concrete. Flashlight beams cut through darkness like swords. Inside the warehouse, the consortium gathered for their annual meeting. James Grant presides at the head of a long table, Senator Whitfield to his right, the others arrayed like courtiers around a king, armed guards at every door, cameras in every corner. They feel safe here, untouchable. In a back room guarded by 2 men with guns, Dorothy Holloway, bruised, exhausted, defiant. Outside, FBI tactical teams surround the building. 40 agents, body armor, night vision, warrants signed by a federal judge who lost a friend to consortium accidents 20 years ago. Agent Cole gives the signal. Breach. The doors explode inward. FBI, everybody down! Down on the ground now! Chaos erupts, shouting, screaming, crystal glasses shattering on concrete. James Grant sees his son standing with the FBI agents. Elliot, clean-shaven now, wearing a tactical vest with FBI written across the chest. His face cycles through emotions. White shock, red rage, cold hatred. You. The word drips venom. My own son. My own blood. Elliot's voice is steady as stone. You killed Vernon Turner. You threatened his daughter. You built an empire on corpses and lies. He steps forward. I'm just finishing what Vernon started. I gave you everything. You gave me a legacy of murder. I'm giving it back. Agents move through the warehouse like a wave. Senator Whitfield, face purple with fury. Do you know who I am? Handcuffs, writes red. Catherine Beaumont, cold to the end. My lawyers will have me out by morning. Handcuffs, writes red. Theodore Sinclair, finally looking his age. Silence. Handcuffs. Writes red. Edward Holloway, Dot's brother. Dorothy, please, you have to understand. Handcuffs. Writes red. In the back room, agents find Dorothy. Beaten but unbroken. She stands when they enter. Refuses the stretcher. Miss Holloway, we need your testimony. Against your brother. Against all of them. She looks through the doorway. Sees her brother in handcuffs. Sees the life she's known burning down around her. Long silence. My brother helped kill Vernon Turner. He chose money over family, over honor, over everything decent. Her voice doesn't waver. I'll testify. Against all of them. Outside, more vehicles arrive. More agents. And Lorraine Turner, pulled from the house on Peachtree. Handcuffs on her wrists. Mascara running down her face. Fraud. Forgery. Obstruction of justice. Accessory after the fact. The first domino falls. The rest follow. Saturday morning, day 7. Greater Hope Baptist Church. Exactly 1 week since the wedding that made everyone laugh. Same pews, same ceiling fans, same faces, different silence. Pastor Ronald Hayes stands at the pulpit. His face is grave. Before we begin worship, I need to address something. Someone's phone lights up. A news notification. Then another. Then dozens. Breaking. 5 prominent Atlanta families arrested in billion-dollar conspiracy. FBI credits evidence from murdered whistleblower Vernon Turner and his daughter Talia Turner, who completed his mission. The whispers spread like wildfire. Also arrested, Lorraine Turner, stepmother of Talia Turner, on charges of fraud, forgery, and obstruction of justice. Pastor Hayes clears his throat. 1 week ago, we stood in this church and watched Talia Turner marry a man we mocked. We laughed. We recorded. We shared our cruelty with the world. Mrs. Dorothy Williams stares at her hands. Deacon Foster won't meet anyone's eyes. The teenage girls have already deleted their videos. That man gave up his inheritance to expose the truth. And Talia Turner, the woman we pitied, just brought down the most powerful families in Atlanta. Silence. We were wrong. I was wrong. May God forgive us. No one is laughing now. Saturday afternoon, day 7. DeKalb Peachtree Private Airfield. Sun breaking through clouds after days of rain. The Gulfstream G650ER gleams on the tarmac. White fuselage, gold trim. Tail number N5 and 50REG. Eleanor's jet. $50 million. Her final gift to her son. Elliot stands at the bottom of the stairs. Clean-shaven. New clothes that actually fit. Same kind eyes he had in torn jeans. A black SUV stops at the airfield fence. Lorraine Turner. Handcuffed. Federal marshals on either side. She asked them to stop. Begged, actually. Just for a moment. Please. I need to see. Through the chain-link fence, stepmother and stepdaughter lock eyes. Lorraine's face is hollow. Makeup smeared. The mask finally gone. Talia stands on the tarmac, father's watch on her wrist, head high. She doesn't wave, doesn't speak, doesn't need to. The moment stretches. 7 days compressed into a single look. Then Talia turns, takes Elliot's hand, walks up the stairs. The stairs retract. The engines roar to life. Lorraine Turner watches her stepdaughter board a $50 million jet with the beggar she was supposed to marry as punishment. The jet taxis, turns, accelerates, lifts off. Lorraine watches until it becomes a speck, until the clouds swallow it completely. Inside the cabin, leather seats, champagne untouched, sunlight streaming through oval windows. Talia looks at her father's watch. Still ticking. Always ticking. Vernon's voice in her memory. They'll underestimate you. Let them. Then show them who you are. She showed them. They called him a beggar. They laughed at her wedding. They're not laughing now. If this story reminded you that what you see isn't always what you get, subscribe. Share this with someone who's been underestimated. And remember, karma doesn't forget. It just waits for the perfect moment.